Look at all that long hair hanging down on Crystal's shoulders.
Hey, hey.
I see you, girl.
Well, welcome to our Tuesday talk. And this is our weekly meeting of the minds. Y'all know how we do.
Hey, hey.
Ladies for being on. And we're going to jump right into it. Because we have to.
Everybody take a picture of your team to put this for your page too before you get off.
Okay, let me see if I can make that happen.
I don't know how to do that.
Just take it with your phone. What, you on your phone, Crystal?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you can't do
Oh, like screenshot it?
Yeah, just turn the camera facing the computer. Are you on the computer?
I'm
No?
on my phone.
Oh,
I'm on the phone.
just use my picture,
Okay.
Carla picture.
Cool. Got it. We got about 20 minutes, and at 9 o'clock, I noticed there were two different things at 9 o'clock. I know we normally get on Rusty's call, which I'm still going to do that because I invited somebody as well. And that is more of a presentation call. And then the other thing that I saw that Bree had posted was a training Zoom with and I don't know if she's a new ambassador or not. I'm not familiar with her, but I'm sure that will probably be recorded. So I'll catch that one tomorrow. And but for this evening, I'll be hopping on Rusty call. And he knows that I'm always on his stuff, and I noticed that he started doing those lives. Can you hear me? I saw Karen do like this. Okay. He started doing those lives like daily. So I'm always on there. And wait a minute. Okay. So I think I'll be reaching out to him again and asking him to be the guest on here one evening, because I really hate that I couldn't record it last time because I was in Florida, but that was really cool. And he did the whole time. I think he probably would have continued talking if he didn't have his own call at 9 o'clock that night. But anywho, what I want to talk about tonight is two different things. And a lot of this stuff Crystal can probably relate to, or she will probably notice, or it will sound familiar with her, and that's because her and I did another business together, and which is why you'll hear both of us say a lot is not what you hear, it's what you keep hearing. And when I tell y'all, we heard the same thing over and over and over. Like it didn't make a difference if you were new, if you were old. Our trainings every week was the exact same. I mean, nothing different. It was nothing different at all. And we're in two different areas, and we're at the time as well. But whenever we had we were on a team together, so whenever we had our big team training, then I mean it would be the same thing. Like we met every Sunday. We had a presentation and a training every Sunday, and then we also had a presentation and training every Thursday with our smaller group. And the actual training portion of it was the same thing. So when we get on here and we talk about the Marley Stock, please, talked about the three-way calls and how to do them, and then do the mock three-way calls and things like that. Like we literally did that every week, didn't we, Crystal?
Yep, we sure did.
Yeah, I mean, and
every week.
And when you talk to somebody, it wasn't like, okay, I'm nervous about talking to this person, or should I talk to that person or not? Like, you were so, look, and I hate to use this word, but it was programmed in a good way, but we were so programmed to talk to people. Like, we weren't afraid to talk to people. We used to say that what we got from that training and from that company was, it was a personal development course with a compensation plan attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that. Y'all see this dog? Look at him.
You wouldn't have shot.
But we just got so much out of that. We're not getting out of stuff. I'm not playing with you. Okay, so with that being said, what I want to I want to share one of the, actually two of the things that we did talk about. And we talked about this before as well. And one of them, you can mostly.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. And one of them you will probably mostly use when you get opposition, but not necessarily only at that time. But this particular, I was going to say task, it's not a task, strategy. That's what it's called. This particular strategy is called the feel, felt, found. And when, you know how we talk about relating to people, and when we relate to them, then they're more open to hear what we have to say. Or if it's somebody that, I don't know, might be in the same profession as we are, or you might go to the same church, or but you have something in common. But what happens when you don't have anything in common with a person and they say something to you that might be in opposition? And that's when you would use the feel, felt, found. And that's a way for you to get on the same level, whatever level that might be, with that person. So let's say, for example, Alex says to me, well, Carla, you know, and y'all know, people will say anything as, and I don't want to say as an excuse, but sometimes it is. Like, they'll tell you, well, you can do that because of this, or you can do that because you work from home, or you can do that because I have even had somebody tell me I can do this because I have a husband. Well, I didn't have one when I started this.
Wow.
You know, stuff like that. So, but anyway, using the feel, felt, found. Well, you know, I'm just so busy, and I have, you know, my kids, and I got my kids in school, and it's this and it's that. Okay. Well, Alex, you know what? I know how you feel. I mean, trust me, I really do. I have kids of my own. I have 4, as a matter of fact. 2 at home, 2 out of home. I have 2 sets of kids. And just because one of them is older or 2 of them are older, I mean, you know that I don't still have responsibilities as related to them. And I felt the same way when I started this, because my thoughts was, you know, I have all this other stuff going on with my kids, and I don't know if I can do this. But what I found out was my children were actually the reason why I wanted to do this. And they give me inspiration each and every day to want to go hard and to want to accomplish some things so that I can teach them how to do the things that I'm doing, how to use the personal development, not just in business, but in life. So that's I know how you feel, felt the same way, but what I found out was, it's like you're giving them the opportunity to say, you know what? Well, that's right. That's right. It's like you're relating to them, and you're giving them a solution to what they're saying. Because if we don't give people a solution to the opposition that they're giving us, then they're going to still be that same mindset. This came from our training too, Crystal. You remember when we used to hear a person convinced against their will be.
Well, so, same opinion still.
Mm-hmm. So if we
Mm-hmm.
convince a person to do this without giving them an out,
Mm-hmm.
hey, Miss Erica, without giving them an out or a solution to their problem, then that's when that phrase, what I just said, could come into play. A person convinced against their will be of the same opinion still. So if I'm convinced, and y'all know we can do that, we can do it. We can convince somebody to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know we don't like to, or we shouldn't do that, because if we convince somebody to do it, we're going to have to convince them to work. And we're going to have to convince them to get on the calls. And we're going to have to convince them to come to green carpet. It's like every step of the process is we're going to be inconvenienced. But if we give them a reason from the beginning of or listen to their why, you know, we can listen to their why, and then use that, you know, like, okay, Alex was just talking about the young ladies that's going to be signing up on her team. Okay, now they're going through a lot to even get started. So Alex finds out their why of why they're getting started. Like, why are you going through this particular thing right here? Why are you going through getting the reps? Like for me, pre-selling, you know, all of that. Now, in my eyes, a person that does that, they really want to work this business. But the key thing is going to be asking them why they want to work the business. And when I ask somebody about their why, I want to know not something that money is attached to. Not, okay, well, I want to do this business because I want to buy me a new car, or I want to buy a house, or something like that. Because at the end of the day, they can do that by saving money from their job, by anything else that's not related to network marketing, because we all know that what we do is not common, it's not easy, and I don't try to sugarcoat that to people. That's why I encourage people all the time, even off of our team. Like, I post the stuff on my personal Facebook page as well about the books that we're reading. That is super important to have that portion of it, because if we don't find out what their why is, that's totally not attached to money. And you know that phrase, and we've heard this one before too, you know, your why should make you cry. I mean, I know that you know, we all need money. It dictates everything, where our kids go to school, what we eat, where we live, you know, all of that. But the bottom line is, when we find that out and use that, not in a bad way, but, you know, and sometimes people lose sight of that. They will lose sight of why they got started with this, why they're doing it. And it's like, you know what? Because when they start getting some opposition, okay, I don't have to put up with this. I'm not doing it. Another one of the books that we read, and then Crystal probably remember this one too. It was called Reject Me. I love it. And it was a book that was about rejection, and how you don't let the no's and the rejections and the naysayers come in the way of what your goal is, or what your end result, what you want your end result to be. So when we can do this feel, felt, found, that really helps out a lot. It really does. And when you say that to a person, it's like, oh, that was cool. And then when they start talking back to you, you'll see what I mean. And they feel like that they can talk to you. And you, okay, she really is feeling me. And then they're more open to listen to what you're saying, because you've broken that wall down. Because initially, some people that you're talking to is like, brick wall, you ain't tearing this one down with a sledgehammer, boo. I'm not listening to nothing you say. But when they know that you can relate to them and that you care about what they're going through, then it's like, okay, I need to listen to this. So that time went by fast, didn't it? It's 8:53. Okay. Do we have any comments or questions on the feel, felt, found? And if you're on mute, you have to come off of mute.
That's true, Carla. What you said about the feel, felt, found. Because, like you said, I used that a lot in the other business, and I could see immediately how people would soften up and break down that wall. So it works. It really does work, because you're showing that you understand the person, and that you, like you said, you're understanding them, you're relating to them, and then you're helping to solve the problem.
Yeah.
And they respond well. I don't think I've ever really had a negative response to that. I'm not saying that each time you use it, it gets the person to enroll or join, exactly. But at least they seem to, even their body language, arms get uncrossed, and they're more open at least to hearing you out a little more, and are considering it more than they were before the conversation started. So it does work.
Cool. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, and I know we are winding down on the time, so I'm gonna move to the second thing. I'm trying to keep the subjects to like maybe just 2, possibly 3, if they're not that long. So then that way we can spend 15 minutes on one, 15 minutes on the other, and then we're making some progress. And sometimes they will repeat themselves, so it'll be the same information. And what the goal is to take this information back to our teams so that they can duplicate it and pass it on as well. Because if it's just us that are on here now, it stops here. It stops with us. We're not using and passing on this information, then our teams are stagnant. They're not growing.
Right.
That's any questions, comments? Okay, cool. And the last thing I want to talk about is that people follow causes and not people. What I mean by that is, if you notice, the name of the company is It Works. It's not Pentecost Enterprises, and we talk about one team, one mission. And like I said, the name of the company is It Works. It's not a person's name. Even in our individual groups or smaller groups that we have, like our Facebook Messenger group. I mean, it's called Diamonds, and how we can use that. And I haven't come up with anything yet, but how we can use that is making ourselves more visible on social media. I met a young lady today, and actually she met me. I was sitting in the car waiting for Kayla. We were in a little plaza. She was getting her eyebrows threaded. And so this young lady, and she was in the store. She came out of the store, out of Old Navy. And she was like, I guess she thought I was going to leave because my car was on. She was going, like, stopping me. So she came over to the car and saw my car magnets. And she was like, oh my goodness, I just love It Works. It is just amazing. It's this, it's that. She was going on and on talking about It Works. Not a distributor, not a loyal customer, never tried the product. And that's all she talked about, was how much she loved It Works. And where I'm going with that is, she found, I don't know how she heard about it. She's a networker, but she said that she had gone on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, and she found this particular group. So they've given themselves a name, and she was like, and their sisterhood is just amazing. I mean, I was introduced to It Works and another company at the same time, And I decided to go with the other company. You know, I don't know why. I had used their products before, and I know that their products work. So I went with the other company, but I was doing research on It Works, and I mean, this team is just amazing. The camaraderie between the sisters, and how close they are, and y'all always have training. Like, I mean, this girl knew everything. I mean, just from social media, you know, the trainings y'all go to, and how y'all go to those different one team, one mission, and boot camps and stuff, and they're always giving away money, and you know, but her thing was she wanted to be a part of It Works because of the camaraderie that she's seen with this team, the trainings that she's seen them do, the trainings that she's seen from It Works on Facebook, you know, Instagram, all of that. But she was following the cause. She wasn't following a particular person. She was following the cause of It Works. So in our building and recruiting and blitzing and all of that, and making our, you know, presence known on social media is super important. It is super important. So when we do things like this, and I agree with Karen, and thank you for reminding us of that, like taking pictures of when we're on these Zooms and posting it on your Instagram, your Facebook, and we're gonna have to come up with us a hashtag. That's what we need. We need a hashtag. And something that we're all using. So like we can't do anything divided. We can't. This is not Carla's team or Karen's team or Erica's team or Crystal's team or Tanya's team, or I think that was Tanya. Let me see. Nope, that's a 770 number. That's not Tanya. Or Alex's team. It's not. We're all one team. Like that young lady that was talking to me had no clue. She had no clue. All she saw was sisterhood, and I want you to call me because she's, I can't get it right now because my husband might get me because I'm not supposed to be spending any money, but I'm gonna call you Friday and I want to get wrapped. I don't want to sign up to be a distributor. So all she knew was, I saw It Works on your car and I know how they are, and that's what I want to do. I want to be with them. But as it relates to our team and growing, people need to see that. People need to see us. They need to see a hashtag and say, oh, you know what, let me follow that hashtag. And then if we do that enough, and like when people click on that hashtag, the only thing that's going to come up is a whole bunch of stuff that we have posted. And I know I'm going over time. It's 9:01, but I'll think on that and we'll get back about the hashtag. But that's our 2 takeaways for this evening, is our feel, felt, found, so that we will actually be able to relate to people and they will feel comfortable enough to talk to us, and that people follow causes. So with that said, ladies, it is 9:01. Are there any questions or comments before we close out? Who is it? 770310. Is that you, Andy?
Me, Janina.
Hey, Janina.
Hi.
I didn't see your name, so I didn't recognize the number. Okay, cool. I want you.
I just called it. I didn't do the video.
Gotcha. All right, ladies. Well, if nothing else claims our attention.
I'm on too, Carl. It's Erica. I'm on my iPad.
Hey, Erica.
Hey.
So we're going to make our way over to Mr. Rusty Lackey's call right now. And I'm sure everybody probably has that, or it's in our Diamonds thread on Facebook. All you got to do is click on it or dial into the number, either one.
Okay.
All right, ladies. Well,
okay.
Those of you that missed it, you can watch this recording, and
thank you.
Productive evening. Talk to y'all later.
Have a good evening.
See you later.